Hello everybody, I'm your host Edge, and after my last video, RWBY Season 4, my top 10 questions has been steady rising in views ever since I put it up. I figured it was time to do another RWBY video, and why not? This is an awesome show, and one of my favorite characters in the show is Jaune Arc. This was done by one of my friends. She's an awesome artist, and I thank her for this awesome picture. I have my set now. But let's talk about Jaune. In shows, I always root for the underdog, someone who might be surrounded by some very skilled people, but may have low self-confidence and not see himself as anything really special, and then seeing him overcome these obstacles and becoming something awesome. Like Sokka from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Awesome character, and Jaune Arc, man, he's one of my favorite characters, besides like Crow, but that's another story. So, everyone is wondering, what is Jaune's semblance? What is it? I mean, this has sparked so many fan theories, so I decided it would be awesome to talk about some of them. Just to preface, this video is going to contain spoilers for all 3 seasons of RWBY possibly, and none of these theories I have come up with myself, but I found them in places like the RWBY forums or Reddit. So without further ado, let's get started. In a world where literally everything turns into a gun, Jaune's sword and shield are considered classical weapons, to put it nicely. As we know, he didn't go to a battle school, so he didn't have a chance to make his own awesome, cool weapons, and his weapons are simply hand-me-downs. Now this puts him at a disadvantage sometimes, or does it? In this theory, Jaune's weapons that were passed down by his ancestors are conduits for his aura that ties directly into his semblance. In this theory, Jaune's ancestors have the same semblance that are passed down. They have massive amounts of aura, and they use their weapons as conduits for this aura. And if you notice, in the show, whenever Pyra is trying to activate Jaune's aura, it's after their swordplay sessions. So it's after he puts his sword away. Gives the theory a little more merit. Not my favorite theory, but that's just one of them. So let's move on to the next one. It never ceases to amaze me to see how close people pay attention to the little things in shows like RWBY. And one fan noticed that in the RWBY soundtrack, which I highly recommend you listen to, Volume 1, Track 12, is called Wings. And it's about someone who doesn't realize their full potential. And when they're lifted up, they will fly. Could Jaune's semblance be flight? Well, that'd be some awesome attacks from above, right? Now, this theory is based on a song that may be about this character, it may not be, but what's his last name? Arc. Now, everyone assumes that's derived from Joan of Arc, which it probably is, but what if it means something else too? Archangel. Now, Joan of Arc was considered a holy woman, and she had God's backing. So it would tie in very nicely to that name as well, if he actually sprouts angel wings and is able to fly and have awesome above attacks. Again, this is not my favorite theory, but what do you guys think? Let's move on to the next one. In a Q&A, someone asked some of the creators of RWBY, when will we see Jaune's semblance? And they replied, we already have. So, that's why I think these next 2 theories hold the most weight. Let's talk about them. In Volume 2, Episode 12, Jaune has a feeling that Team RWBY is in danger. And everyone says, nah, they're fine. But Jaune just feels like they're in danger. And in the previous episode, RWBY had tried to call Jaune on her scroll, but found she didn't have signal underground. And Jaune has woken up sometime, I think an hour later, with this feeling that something dangerous might be happening. So since the creator said we've already seen the semblance, could it be some type of kind of like spider sense almost? A feeling kind of like of seeing the future, or like knowing that something bad is happening? Might be, maybe. And the last theory, which is my favorite theory, is based upon this clip. I think we just saw Jaune Semblance right there. I mean, come on. I think he has the ability to sort of deflect energy back at another person. Now, some people say, well, that's what Yang's thing is. No, Yang absorbs energy, stores it, and then pushes it back. With this semblance, he was able to, when Cardin punched him, automatically that energy, that blow that he was punched was pushed back on himself. As you saw his hand kind of like, pulsing, like he was hurt. So is it possible that Jaune could be shot by a dust bullet and that energy from that bullet would just deflect right back at the other person? That would make him almost invulnerable to anything while his aura is full, which he has a lot of aura. So I think this guy is going to be a major, major powerful huntsman. What do you guys think? Let's discuss your fan theories of what Jaune Semblance are. Just any fan theories you have for RWBY Season 4 in the comments section below. As always, thanks for watching, and see you next time.